Abusamno kase ni info bi aba. Ensem bi atofom na ne nyina me de bro e wa ha sei. Me din kan ka acho sa ha sei de ba e ensem de ba bi bibia be ka no kren kwa ene de acho na wonso wetime hu de e ko no. Me din kan ka acho da so nyina ba e nam se ba ko penti no. We are all connected and also connected. Inti nyina yembum. Yentime nya ade manyef na we e lecture ba ko senior lecture ana de ensem bi aba betu about Kennedy Agyapong Japan na ensem nyina o Kenya so se enkane no at first na owo chese Bawumia company say we free honum aba Kennedy Agyapong Japan e camp me din kan ka acho da CCC no ubibia o pen okore e pe han e hu se anaso pese Ghana ko nanim bia no sa na CCC oye ni decision na answer na no ye be konsem no so ne bibim ye be digesting sem no ha se ni aka no kore no e de akire ubia se de sitie na meso sans na wadara ma me din kan ka acho se ye ba ne se na ana e wonkofo bibro ho no mba comment section ade obi just ke cancel ma ensem fata de kire me sa ha ya didi atamene de kan oni to no so de be ya Kennedy Agyapong fans ye nyina me din kan ka say we are connected and also connected into beti ma bo no meso so obe true bibi comment section efa Kennedy Agyapong ho na so beti ma twe nkura nsensem bi udi oni hwe kura atro no tro Kennedy Agyapong na the love be de ato aso e bi onso no se de be ya video beti ma konanim because ehia se video so konanim na nkofo nsa ampa de adwumadi a medi na ha se ni nyina edidi aboa ama Kennedy Agyapong etimi afa ene ntoma pay frasan so ama Ghana konanim ni ntino meso so be like video de ama me yes o like ma me no so betimi aboa apushi ama no menyina e kama obi ba no be nsa ampa ye videos konanim ye walaisa nipan be say yeah papa no ye ndi na chikwa ntime so senya be de ama me na afi ye mu ran sem ne hesitate city with the main reason for making this video. The thing is say I sometimes ye comparison and I say can say me say for example me fa blaster for nye fato nchiro e bia kwa akobọ match na bia match na kwa akobọ no wait me ye example keke e bia Jordan Ayun ubo ani mo honom unim say Jordan ani mo na abọ na e bia sese ni bibi nto ayemre e bia ye ka say enso kudus bitima ba begina side on mama e bia mu nyina mo 10-10 me ye example mu nyina mo 10-10 na sa 10-10 honom ye say ebia Jordan sisi why mere makudu so mebo wo se damenti ase me wan se bi kra me ka sisi utugu so ntimi ntumri kanie e wa abra se Ghana wini a kudu so awini Jordan so awini se bibi papa ba e ba me nyina na se wo adwen papa wotirim se ampa bibi papa e ba na e ba me nyina ana se me pese me Ghana ya na se me pese me ye football ni ya I think so wonim so why embre no you stay aside wan gasa betu was na de what nine chain no ama de owa ahoden na bia make say kudus ni gina na so betima ba de abegina touch ahihye goose no why ye nyina we are going to jubilate because ye nyina de no but say bia wo different mindset bia na say adwem fufuru bu wetrima ahonom na wa team so abre wo togu so ba e catch us at nine chain as damenti ase me nkwati nine chain because e de chinchin was me bad no the same thing with a year to say Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia abusia with analysis bi amba me ya na hasim ba be me ni ahwe ade bo ase ni ahwe a year to say gabu bi anase intupa papa we me dia still na want nine chain a also want nine chain ma me true back kakra ni ahwe ade the year 2020 election a course and NPP we ni nya 439,724 that was NPP and then this nya 398,549 that was the difference I don't mean NPP ni this in term we say that density na team say ehu ba enye hu sa ehu ba na enye hu sa because at time na Ghana for the be na adwen like could the NDC for nechi all because of one or two mistakes be honom na me di call 2024 na ka jam say sadia Bawumia na wo ka ho ana sa mess we nyina cause nte be ya twon ho ni ntime de enya ade no wo se wo da Mr. na meko ana wo kon ye no hwe ade ni ye sidesi ye no one man nipa no di wachi na wo ben kakran ka so ko betra no ko tra kakra bi ni so ampa difference na kakra bi ni mo me hwe ade average call 2024 election na sinisi ko ye NDC enya 6,591,790 6 million NPP enya 4,877,611 now how do we 6 million and 4 million ebiso enye gap ketwa enya sem ketwa kura million ba kuna na 1,000 we na million e just na enya sem ketwa upon everything internet team say Bawumia why mistake enwa bi ni say agency be ya kwani akwakwoti e chese lecture na sem waka no enwa bi na sisi akwakwoti ense sa hade asa atwe ho because one we ase nkofo ase adwa enya de menga say enya de kesi bia na mandis for you omunim so mba no meka say bi create enwuma no ya beka say Kennedy Agyapong na aka enwuma to omo so ntimi ke ana mo fa different strategy no meka say sa hade ya be the 24 hour economy ba ya be the Nkokonketenke ba enwa na mo mdi nya yu Nkokonketenke atima wini na wo to wo mo keka brofa akese ene went my win no be so oba no so the same to the nwuma on kwa de wa chirichi mbibre na twa mani pan bra so ntia say I don't know the reason why me wan say NPP win here so win bi nti so wo good idea. I don't think say kabe say anu mo nyina nti ebusua me mam kasa nya tenten be koni akwa kwiti e chese senior lecture no ne nsem ahodo de aba betu dwa no e de aba na meso sans no wadaroma ubu ene ani de kwa so se wonya subscribe from my YouTube channel ya don't say bo subscribe button so that ba me wia na the bell notification icon so to medin ka cho say feel free na chere wadwe e comment section ni mum de hia so man sem no ho ate e de mam na bibia so etimi ai kama kama ye mu rem ni ntin sem no famra
voter margin of 6.7, and you could not even maintain that. I mean, the goal would have been to maintain it. You host this program. The standard will be for you to maintain this program or build upon it. If you don't build upon it and you don't maintain it, there's no use for Bolare keeping you here. You must be sacked. Clearly, I mean, and nobody goes into business to lose. We exist as a political party to be able to win power.
But Doc,
that's the premise for it.
But do you also know that something when you introduce a product on the market and the product doesn't really do well, there's always the need
Smart Gang Update.
Rebrand the product by possibly even doing the SWOT analysis and all of that, using the pestle analysis and all of that. Couldn't you have done the SWOT analysis using even pestle, external environment and all of that to check all these things and then possibly rebrand the person to become what you wanted him to become instead of leaving his camp for a different camp?
When I was young, I used to like the Sunlight adverts because I mean it was one of the
Abusha question obisa we pa me kan okra say wo baby na de anya witimi say de wo correct kura ni nyi ya twon ho question obisa me anka me kan cho straight away me fan kon wan wo baby na obi ya de anya na timi say nipa mitunu funu nti atwon. That's the best thing we dey to us nti no
the most played advert, and I still remember the song. Okay, Sunlight is a very good product. I mean, even till date, if I get Sunlight, I'll use that. But Sunlight is almost out of the market, and so it's not just about the product and the rebranding of the product. Okay, it's about the fact that the unique selling proposition of that product still remains the same. And the variables that made us lose the election has not changed.
So even now, it still remains the same.
Even now, the variables are still the same. And I have data here that I can prove. I can pull it out for you.
So, Doc, you are saying that even if I'm not saying he's going to, but I'm saying even if he wins the internal elections,
I don't think that Mahmoud is going to win.
No. I mean,
there's no variables here.
No problem. But let's say if that is the case, if he wins the internal elections and is supposed to do the national contest, you are saying that he's not going to win?
I don't think so. The variables are really the same, and the Ghanaian people haven't changed. I mean, you don't expect the Ghanaian people to change overnight in 4 years. I mean, I remember the NDC is also wanting to prepare and also retain power. Okay, so I look at the variables, and those variables haven't changed. Okay, we presented the candidates to be able to win a sizable part of the Ghanaian people. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo left a voter margin, like I told you, of 6.7. He reduced it to about 4.2, 4.3 thereabout. That's almost like 2 million votes. But I particularly want to focus on the north. Which is important. In the 2020 general election, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in terms of northern region, had 409,963. Okay, in the 2024 general election, Mahmoud Bawumia lost by 39,135. He reduced that vote. The vote of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in 2020 of 409,963, Mahmoud Bawumia reduced that by 39,135. Let me just go on. I'll just finish up so that you. And then in Savannah, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in the 2020 general election had 80,605. Mahmoud Bawumia reduced that by 23,831. In Upper East region, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had 170,340 votes. Mahmoud Bawumia reduced that by 63,640 votes. In Upper West region, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had 121,230 votes. Mahmoud Bawumia reduced that by 31,324. The only place that Mahmoud appreciated was Northeast. In Northeast in 2020, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had 122,742, and Mahmoud appreciated it by 12,058. And so if you look at the data as it is here, and I'm going to compare that with what Dramani Mahama had, okay, because I think that is also very, very important. In the 2020 election, Mahama had 449,650 in Northern region. Okay, in the 2024 election, Mahama appreciated by 79,806 in that same region. In Northeast, okay, Mahama had in 2020 had 112,306, and he reduced it by 1,225. It means that he didn't even reduce it significantly that much. In Savannah, okay, Mahama had 138,001. In Upper East region in 2020, Mahama had 322,317. And in 2024, Mahama appreciated the Upper East region votes by an extra 39,280. In the Upper West region, Mahama in 2020 had 238,949. And in the 2024 election, he appreciated it by 3,903. So if you look at this data alone, it tells you that the variables are still the same. And so it's not really about, it tells you that, look, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, okay, as a Southerner, performed more than one who comes from that 5 northern region. So the variables are still the same, okay? And it clearly tells me that for me, if the new patriotic party is really very serious about recapturing power,
Smart Gang
2028,
Update.
we need to be able to bring a candidate that the Ghanaian people have not tested yet. When we need to be able to test that variable, which
Smart
is why for me,
Gang
I feel
Update.
that, it has to be Kennedy today, it has to be Kennedy tomorrow, it has to be Kennedy the next day. Because, he's the person that can be able to give us that vote that we need and be able to bring a competitive edge. The things that Kennedy is bringing on board, okay, you look at it. We sat in this country. John Dramani Mahama of the NDC campaigned on Nkokonketenke. And I sit in my home on my dining table and I say, Nkokonketenke won an election for the NDC.
It wasn't a good policy enough. It wasn't a good, formulate of policy enough for him to have won.
Of
Using
course.
the Nkokonketenke,
Of
it
course.
was very traditional, very local. People could relate to it.
Of course.
It wasn't good enough.
Of course.
Dr. Pargrave, what are you trying to insinuate?
What I'm driving at
Yes.
is the fact that Nkokonketenke was good enough to win an election.
Exactly.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
And so
It was very relatable.
Of course.
Yes.
So it's not the high rising things. That's what I mean. Kennedy says he will create jobs. It's the simple things that the Ghanaian people want. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who was our premier president in this country, told us that if he thought that the Ghanaian people needed bread and milk and butter, he would not have been building skyrocketing things.
We say I say we Ghana for. Ada papa buy MP. Ada papa buy MP. Ba we any day all the same. Intino I had na brebe ma me kwan. Did this particular story and so see to copy me besan so she be me so be show see. We share videos see atim say no me two about gusu ba ko say subscribe my channel ba ko say share video fufuro. Me so say we nya subscribe ya be subscribe na ma me. We nso na nya hwe say video na wo hwa na wa share am fufuro so nya nsem ne bi eti na bibia so eti me ay kama copy me say be share bi makra. Bye.